Middle Tennessee drivers charged with DUI when they are completely sober.
Well, Fox 17 was first to tell you about this kind of justice gone wrong last February, and now the drivers are fighting back.
We tracked several of these cases and discovered that at least 2 of these drivers are now taking action against the police departments that charged them.
Well, those drivers telling Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino their efforts are costing at least one city some cold hard cash.
Sir, I have not drinking.
But the pleas from middle school teacher Jeff Adams didn't work after 2 Goodlettsville police officers pulled him over. Neither did telling investigators about his double hip replacement that makes walking a straight line shaky.
Do you have any medical problems that would impair your judgment?
No, not judgment. Standing, I've had 2 hip replacements, so it is hard to stand.
Do you drink occasionally, or?
I don't drink at all.
In fact, Adams initially offered to take a field sobriety test, confident he'd pass.
Little did I know, as soon as I got out of the car, I was pretty much going to jail because he seemed very excited that I said I would do a field sobriety test.
But Adams misjudged his own ability. He then hoped a breathalyzer test would exonerate him on the spot.
I don't drink.
Murfreesboro police arresting a man.
Fox 17 News uncovered in our previous report that the majority of law enforcement agencies in Middle Tennessee no longer use breathalyzers on scene, including Goodlettsville Police. Police say blood draws are more accurate and that breathalyzers don't detect drugs anyway.
So the reason you're being arrested right now? Yeah. Probable cause. You showed enough signs of impairment on the test for me to make an arrest.
Adams immediately lost his part-time job as an Uber driver and feared damage to his reputation as a teacher and coach.
I've had less than 5 traffic infractions in my life, and then to be arrested for a DUI, and you have to explain that to your own kids, and worry about it getting out to the school system.
After 5 long months, Adams' alcohol and drug tests came back negative, and a judge dismissed the case. But Adams says the emotional and financial toll are far from over.
It was the most stressful, most traumatic experience I've ever had.
Data obtained by Fox 17 News shows judges dismissed about 12% of DUI cases in Tennessee this year. But new numbers from TBI reveal it's a bigger problem than you may think. We found more than 600 sober drivers, people who did not drink but were charged with DUI since 2017.
There's a bunch of firsts this morning.
Adams decided to take legal action. This letter from his lawyer to the Goodlettsville city attorney says the city violated Adams' constitutional rights. So Adams demanded a $75,000 settlement. The city ultimately paid Adams $5,000 to avoid a lawsuit.
If this had gone to court, it wouldn't necessarily have been an open and shut case just because Adams' alcohol and drug tests proved he was sober. Goodlettsville police say the officers still had probable cause to arrest him because they say he performed poorly on the sobriety test.
It ruins their lives.
DUI defense attorney Scott Kimberly believes officers need more training to consider other factors that could affect a field sobriety test, like medical problems, age, and even exhaustion.
People look at me and they ask, how can this happen? And my answer is it happens all the time. What we have to do as a community is ask for greater accountability and stronger training.
There's no repercussion, no consequence. There's a problem here. There's a pattern. Especially when I found out that I'm not the only one.
Goodlettsville police sent Fox 17 News a statement that reads in part, DUI and standardized field sobriety testing are not an exact science. We would like to be perfect, but we are not, the process is not, and the world is not. We have performed training both last year and this year in an effort to make us as good as we can possibly be.
In a similar case, a 76-year-old man I interviewed in Rutherford County was also charged with DUI when tests ultimately proved he was not drinking. He's now suing that county for $400,000. That case is still making its way through federal court, and I'll be following it and will certainly let you know what happens. I'm Kelly Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.